Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today is a very exciting day because I've had this idea for a video for a very long time. I ingest this style of content very frequently. I watch Carrie Can Read's plot breakdowns. I watch Mike's breakdowns of like TV shows. I love this, and I thought for so long, what can I break down that would be central to like my life and what's relevant to me? And then my time came to shine. There's a very exciting event happening in the Western world in December that is like so important and is totally in need of a plot breakdown. We're here, guys. I am going to be breaking down the 15 barrel racers that are going to be competing at the 65th annual Wrangler NFR presented by Teton Ridge in Las Vegas. Are you ready for this? So, like I said, I got this idea from lots of other people that do things like this. I have done an insane amount of research on these people to get to this point where I can make this video for you. I have varying degrees of information on them, okay? Some of them go on podcasts all the time and just won't shut up about their life, which I love because me too. Some of them, quite frankly, I'm convinced they're in a cult where they're not allowed to share details about their life because I can't find anything. Some of them have no social media presence. Some of them have literal websites that detail everything that they do on a daily basis. The NFR is basically rodeo's Super Bowl, and the top 15 money earners go in all the respective sports. Today's sport we're covering is barrel racing. If you don't know what that is, you might need to do a little bit of research before this, okay? If you want to know more about the NFR, you should watch my Ultimate NFR Guide. It's really good. And in that video, I told you should learn about the people that are competing so that you can feel more attached to the storylines and more invested in the competition. Well, that's what this is for you, okay? Also, the level of importance I get from pointing this, lock me up. I need to go to jail. I'm enjoying this way too much. Be prepared for me to really be signaling down a Boeing 737, okay? Because I can't stop. Like I said, varying degrees of information, so we will have varying degrees of detailed backgrounds. I literally have a laptop right here with all of my notes. I have a stack of photos to put on this wall. I have my Stanley. I have a sparkling water. I have snacks, which I suggest you get all those things too, because we're going to be here for a minute. Oh, I'm in leggings. Literally basically in pajamas right now so that I can be comfortable while I present this to you for God knows how long, really, truly. This episode will also be available as an episode of my podcast, Saddle Money. So if you don't want to sit here and watch me, okay, click around with visual aids and you just want to, like, I don't know, listen to this while you drive, go to Saddle Money. It's going to be up as a bonus episode, all right? So hi, Saddle Bunny viewers. If you're here from Saddle Bunny, welcome to my YouTube channel. A lot of things happen here, and this is maybe one of the most normal of all the things I do. So, hi, it's Katie from the future. I'm editing, and I just wanted to issue a little disclaimer here and let you know this information is not mine alone. I just conglomerated a bunch of stuff that I found on the internet. I found most of my information from the WPRA contestant information, the PRCA contestant bios, and the Wrangler contestant bios for the NFR. I also went to each of their respective websites, their social medias, anything like podcasts, a lot of the Money Barrel Race News, stuff like that. So by no means is all this information like interviewed and given from me, okay? I'm not the source. I'm going to link the different places that I found information in the description so that you can go there at your leisure and check out the articles I'm talking about. This is just a way for you to find it all in one place without having to listen to all the podcasts and go to all the websites and yada, yada, yada. Also, some of the information might be a tiny bit inaccurate. Not all the information was up to date on the PRCA website. Some of it is not consistent with what's on the WPRA, and I just went with whatever sounded right to me. So it's nothing crazy. Like, there will be no crazy inaccuracies, but like a horse might be a year older than I said, or a girl might be a year younger than I said, and no big deal. But just wanted to let you know that while we're here talking about it. Okay, you can get back to the video now. Anyways, we're going to dive into this. Like I said, if the bio is short, it's not because I don't like the girl. It's just whatever I could find, okay? And we are going to get started with who is currently ranked number 15 in the world, Paige Jones. Paige is obviously number 15, so that means she barely made the NFR. I'm not saying that to be rude. It is the fact. She is made the least money, okay? Miss Paige, she edged out Sarah Wickelman. I don't know who that is, but that's her name, by $9,000 to finish 5th. That's pretty crazy in rodeo. That means in the nick of time, Our girl Paige, she made $9,000 to get into this top 15 spot so that she could go to the NFR. So she finished last season number 17. She was just outside the top 15. Obviously, if she was 17, she'd be like down here somewhere. Who knows? Last year, she finished 17th. She then turned that loss into motivation for her to get to the 15th spot this year. She earned her way to Vegas this year with the help of her horse, Bazinga. Bazinga, his papered name is Famous Heyday. Originally, I was going to print out photos of the horses, but as you can see, you'll see as we go through this, a lot of these girls own as many as 7 horses, and I could not. We don't have the real estate for that. So anyways, Bazinga. All I know about Bazinga is that his papered name is Famous Heyday. She also has a horse named High Cotton Lane, barn name Cotton, and that is Paige Jones. Oh, her current winnings, she's from Wayne, Oklahoma, and her current winnings are $102,968. Let's move on to the next one. Number 14. Coming in 14th is my girl, Sue Smith. Why did I say my girl? You're about to see why. Sue, okay, you'll see as we go through this circle, there's a lot of people that have special stories that I really enjoy. And that doesn't mean that they're like, I think they're going to win or anything like that. I just really love their story and how they got here. You see, the beauty of the NFR is that you don't have anyone backing you up. You go completely on your own. There's no teams. You have sponsors and you, okay? That's it. That's the way that you get here. Because anyone can enter pro rodeos. Literally anyone. I could. I shouldn't, but I could. I could just go start entering. I wouldn't make it to the NFR or do anything significant, but you see what I'm saying. So you get some really cool stories. So we're going to dive in with Miss Sue because I was able to listen to a podcast about her. She has qualified for 2 NFRs previously, so this will be her 3rd. She won $105,000 this year. We're going to round up because I don't want to go all the way through, okay? She is from Blackfoot, Idaho. Mrs. Sue, the last NFR she qualified for was in 2009. This is something I love about the barrel racing because there are so many moms, okay? So many women who just want to have families and, enjoy their life. And they put their barrel racing career on hold to raise their families. And they come back and I think she's 60 something years old, 62 maybe. I don't know. I couldn't find an exact age. She's an older gal, okay? And she's, quite frankly, kicking ass, okay? She was not born into a horse family. And I listened to a podcast where she explained that when she was 12, she was just obsessed with horses. She just wanted a horse so bad, or anything with 4 legs. And so she convinced her grandmother when she was 13 to buy her a donkey for $25, which she then trained and showed on. This woman is incredible. She was then a little bit after that. She also won on the donkey, which is insane. And she said the newspaper interviewed her. That was back in the times where a newspaper would interview you. The newspaper was basically Facebook. So or Instagram. So big deal, this donkey. Pretty cool. She was then given a horse when she was 13 that was a reject from the track. And she said that horse, remember what I said about the numbers, just don't judge me when they fall down, okay? She said that horse is where she learned a lot from it. I'm obviously training it when you're that young, and it was an off the track, probably thoroughbred. I don't know much about the horse, but thought that was cool. I think the donkey story is cool, and it just shows you how much of a go-getter Miss Sue is, especially this late in her life. I'm saying this late in her life. I'm not trying to make her seem like she's super old or anything, but it is just cool that at an age when most people are not thinking about being the best at what they do anymore, they're kind of over that. She is still grinding and doing well. Okay, more about Sue. She married a bull rider, and she did not get into barrel racing until she was an adult and married to her bull rider. Sue says the reason that she got into barrel racing was because she was tired of sitting at rodeos and not doing anything. And she was like, I need to do something. If he's going to be at all these rodeos, I need to do something here. So I'm going to barrel race, which is pretty freaking cool. Both of the times, the last time that Sue made the NFR, she also claimed that she did not plan to make the NFR. She says that she didn't plan to make the NFR this year. She just wanted to be, I think she said in the top 30. I don't know if it was the top 30 of the year or in her circuit. I can't remember, but so that she could make some other rodeos that you have to qualify to get into. And obviously she did a lot better than top 30 because she's going to the NFR. She said that in the past, she did this in her past NFR. She said she just wanted to make it to her circuit finals or whatever. And then the horse had other plans. She talked a lot on the podcast about how the horses take the reins and they just kind of do what they want to do. And her horse, Centerfold, full name Dash Centerfold, who is 12, she took the reins this year and she said, girl, we're going to the NFR. She has not only been to the National Finals Rodeo on her own, but she's trained winners at every level of competition, from futurities to rodeos. She's apparently a very well-known trainer. I can't speak to that. I don't know her very well. This is the first time I'm hearing of her. She has also rapidly climbed up the WPRA World Standings in July of 2023, and she won in Napa, Ogden, and a record-setting finish at Cheyenne Frontier Days, where she earned over $45,000 in a few short weeks. Sue, that's crazy. To fans and friends who have known Smith for years, her dominance is no surprise. I believe that's a quote from The Money Barrel. I could be wrong. Yeah. Sue's killing it. Centerfold is 12 years old, and she says that's the horse that she owes all this to. She's competing on 2 horses. She has Centerfold, Dash Centerfold, and Diamond Center, aka Hef, who is 7, and he is Centerfold's son. How cute is that? So there you go, Sue. We love Sue. I really can't wait to see how she does. I just love a story of a lady later in life achieving great things and on horses that she loves and their mother-son. I mean, can we ask for anything more? Okay, next up, sitting number 13 this year, we have someone who really needs no introduction. She's incredible. Haley Kinsell. I sometimes say Kinsel, and then I sometimes say Kinsell. If you're going to hate on my pronunciation, you can just click off the channel. Okay? Now, you, like me, may be surprised to see Haley all the way at number 13. And I did do some digging, but I can't really figure out why she's this low this year. There's probably a reason, but I didn't try to find it that hard. Haley is, if you don't know her well, you're in for a freaking surprise, okay? This year, she has won $105,000, roughly. She's from Cotulla, Texas, and she has earned almost $2 million in her career. She is actually going to be basically hitting that cap at the NFR. She's only $20,000 away from $2 million in earnings. That's just rodeo winnings. That's crazy. She is a Wrangler NFR qualifier 7 times. This is her 7th NFR. And she has 3 NFR wins. That means she has won. Oh my God, this 6 is not going to stay up here. She has won the NFR 3 times. And it was 3 consecutive years in a row. She has I literally have in my notes, hella records on her horse sister. She also has an average win. So she won the NFR average, meaning she did the best over the 10 days at the NFR in 2020. So that year she won the average and the world, which is pretty crazy, which the world is that number 1 spot. So obviously I'm showing you where everybody is right now, but during the NFR, they might shift around because they're all going to be winning the whole 10 rounds that they're there. So she was number 1 at the end of the NFR 3 years in a row. That's winning the world, okay? She was actually a gymnast until the age of 11 when she decided to dedicate her life to horses, something I did not know at all. She's very close with her mother, who is the former, I didn't know this either, Miss Rodeo Texas, who has always enjoyed starting colts, and her and Haley now share a love for training horses. They bought sister and trained her themselves, and they run their program together. I feel like her and her mom's relationship is the cutest thing I've ever seen. Her mom's always in the alleyway jumping up and down for Haley as she comes in for a good run, and it's just like so cute to see them together. She is really barrel racing royalty, and the magic of her and sister is something I can't even really like express in words. I don't know if I could fully help you understand how important this person is in the barrel racing world and how much of an impact she has made in her short career. I think she's only 31 or 30. She's very young. Now let's talk about her horses. She has a lot of horses, okay? Quite a string. I know she's been riding a horse named Jules in recent years. I don't know if she'll be riding her NFR or not. She's also a Palomino mare. She, I guess, also is riding horses Reese, Spider, Valentina, and Leroy this year. I don't know who she'll be bringing with her to the NFR. We're going to talk about the big kahuna here. Her number 1 main mount, the horse that made her famous, the team, okay? DM Sissy Heyday. That is sister. She is a 12-year-old Palomino mare, and her sire is PC Frenchman's Heyday, her dam Royal Sissy Irish. This horse has literally changed the very foundation of the barrel racing world. I don't know. She is clearly made a huge name for herself, along with Sister, who is the cutest horse that ever lived. Sister is arguably one of the most famous horses of all time and one of the most winning. They purchased her as a 2-year-old from a sale, and then obviously they trained her, like I said. Haley has ridden Sister at 20 rodeos this year, and out of that 20, placed at 17. That is just how consistent her and Sister are. Sister's also great in the Thomas and Mack, runs consistently great. They've broken the Thomas and Mack record, so many in NFR records and records on standards. Like, I can't even tell you how many records they've broken because it's just insane. The horse is adorable. I love her. Their story is great. I really suggest if you want to dive into somebody and you don't know about anyone, this is where you start, because this is like, I can't even begin to explain it to you. Okay. Sitting 12th currently is Stevie Hillman. Okay, Stevie Hillman is 37 years old. She got her, she joined the PRCA in 2012. She has over $1 million in career earnings. Okay, this is no new thing for her. All right. She this year won Pendleton for the second time in her life. That's a really big rodeo. So pretty big deal that she's won it twice now, starting this year. She didn't have any money to buy good ones growing up, so she trained young horses. She is actually a radiology tech. Yeah, radiology tech. She takes x-rays, CT scans, and works in surgery. And she famously rode and entered on the horse Slick by Design. If you're into the barrel racing world or race bred horses, you know about Slick by Design. Her horses that she's currently riding are Quattro Fame, which they call Truck. This is a famous horse of hers. Sire is Dash to Fame, Damn Princess Streaks. This horse has been her main mount for 8 years. They all call him Truck. I think I mentioned that. He's 16 years old and he won the American in 2020. That's her horse that she's trusty dusty on all the time. Has 2 other horses that are, I think maybe that you should know about. RV Brigitte. I can't find anything about her winnings or anything. And then Sand in My Socks, Sandy. Sandy is the horse that she actually won Pendleton on. So there is a good chance that she will be riding that horse again at the NFR, I'm assuming, if she did great at Pendleton. Especially because Truck, or what is his full name? Quattro Fame, is 16. So he's getting up there. I'm sure she's starting to think about what's going to be the next horse that she's going to ride. So that's Stevie at number 12. Sitting at number 11 with $109,000 earned, we have Sissy Wynn. Sissy is 25 years old, and this is her second NFR. I think her first one was last year. She primarily rides 2 horses, Chewy and Scoop, who have little mini ponies, little mini pony buddies that they travel with. How freaking cute is that? Chewy is an 8-year-old gelding. His mini is called Scout, that he is his little buddy. If you're unfamiliar with horses and how this works, sometimes horses don't like to be left alone, so they'll get them a mini pony to like hang out with, or a goat. Famously, Baby Flo had a goat for a long time. Well, Chewy has a little mini pony named Scout. How cute is that? And he's in the trailer with him everywhere. He was purchased as a 5-year-old partway through his fraternity year, and she gave him a year and a half off because she says that he was like, and I quote, a teenage boy punk, and just needed some time off to like grow up and mature. And so on his 7-year-old year, which was last year, she got him back out and started running him, and they made the NFR. She said that her dad was begging her to sell him. And she was like, no, he's going to be good. I promise. We just need to give him some time. And after that time, he matured. And sure enough, I mean, she ended up at the NFR last year. So good on her for not listening to dad and keeping the horse. Clearly, he's gotten her here. The other horses that she will have, again, she has Scoop, who's a 10-year-old gelding. His mini horse is named Stormy. Got to include the mini horses. And he was purchased at the end of March of this year. So we don't have a ton to say about him because she hasn't owned him that long, and I couldn't find that much on him. He also has this guy, Will Munya, aka King. The gelding has earned over $100,000 during his 2023 fraternity year. I saw somewhere that she's taking King to the NFR. I'm thinking it's going to be King and Chewy. Do I know really anything about her decision making? No. Am I in any way affiliated with Miss Sissy Wynn? No. We're just both blonde. But that's my guess, that King and Chewy will be there. Chewy's full name is Chewing the Hot Wire. She also says that he likes to chew things, and he bucks, or did. And he's just kind of a goof. He's a goob. So I love that for her. Let's go to the next person. Sitting 10th, winning $111,000 this year. We have, I think it's Ilsa or Alyssa. I'm just going to call her Alyssa for the safety of me not pronouncing this wrong. Riley. We're actually going to put her here. I know we're supposed to be going in a circle, but you see, we're just, okay. 10th. Lissa Riley. Again, she's from Hico, Texas, and she's won $111,000 this year. You can see now why this is going to be a fun year because we have $111,000 won. I believe Sissy has, 109. So that could easily be switched up in one round, okay? Then we have Stevie, who also won $109,000 this year. They're very close, okay? Like, oh my God. Literally, what separates these two? She won $109,000, $109,022, okay? And number 12, Stevie, won $109,015. There's literally, I can't do math very well, but 109,022 and 109,015. That is so close together. We're really cutting it, okay? So 111, 109, 109. What do we have here? Miss Haley is at 105. Again, these could be switched so easy just in a couple rounds. So keep that in mind while we're talking about all of this. So like that's going to be the fun of watching NFR, knowing everybody's standings. Back to Lissa. She joined in 2017. In 2020, she finished 98th in the world standings, and the next year, 55th. And then last year, she was inside the top 50 at 30th. And then this year, 10. That's pretty crazy to go from 2020 being, what did I say again? 98th to now competing at the NFR in 2023. 3 years. That is pretty nuts for this girl. Okay. She went to cosmetology school and she did go to regular school, like college, but she says she hates school, which I put LOL after because that's pretty funny. She grew up on a cattle ranch and her mom and grandma ran barrels, but she's the first person in her family to run professional, which is pretty cool. She, 2 years ago, was the first time she ever did a full season in the PRCA, and she breeds race horses, not barrel horses, which is very interesting. I guess she was saying on the podcast that her dad's always like, we should breed harrow horses. We should breed barrel horses. And she's like, no, I don't want to, which I found interesting. Let's get into her horses. The cream of the crop, the number one, the horse that she claims is the best horse she has ever owned is Misty Money Blur, aka Money. The horse was purchased from Cassie Mowry, which you will see. She's on here, okay? That's who she bought the horse from. The horse was purchased in 2020, was trained and owned by Cassie Mowry, and she originally asked to buy Cassie's horse Emmett, which you will also hear about in this diagram because Emmett will be at the NFR. And Cassie was like, no, but what do you think about maybe buying Money? And our girl Alyssa was like, well, let me try him. And she went and tried him. She loved him. She called her mom immediately and was like, I think this is going to be the horse that I go the farthest on if I can figure her out. And so, yeah, here we are now, him. I think it's a him. She says that this horse is the one that made her step up her riding the most so that she could get to where she is. And clearly he helped her a lot because look, we're at the NFR. Excited for you, Alyssa. Another horse she has is called Champ. I don't have his full name, his like paper name, but she plans to ride him the most at the NFR because he loves small arenas. She's owned him for 4 or 5 years. I think he's relatively young too. And then she has a horse named Thriller who's 13. She lovingly calls him her old grumpy man, and she just purchased him this year. So we don't know a ton about him, but she did lovingly call him her grumpy old man. So that's her lineup for spot number 10. Now moving into this 9th spot, sitting number 9 with roughly $115,000 earned, we have Summer Kosel. Now, Summer is another NFR rookie. How exciting is that? This is her first NFR ever. She's 37 years old, and her husband Kevin are the proud parents of 4 children that range in age from 17 to 18. They have cool names: Hope, Serenity, Victory, and Courage. I know Courage is the little boy. I think the rest are girls, but yeah, kind of cool. First NFR. And again, another mom like out here rolling at the NFR. How exciting. She was talked into entering Cheyenne Frontier Days just to experience it once, which I think is so cute. And she set the arena record during a qualifying round on July 22nd. Her time of 17.2 broke the 26-year-old record set by Christy Peterson and her horse, Bozo. Bozo is a very famous horse, okay, related to Sister. It's a whole thing. I'm not going to dive into it too deeply, but Bozo is extremely famous. It's crazy that she beat Bozo's record, and everyone just needs to know that, okay? She ended up beating that her previous time. She doesn't still hold the record, but she did beat that time this year. So that's kind of cool. Her husband, Kevin, was a bull rider, and now they put on amateur rodeos in South Dakota, and they have a few bulls that they take to PBR events. How fun is that? Her horse, the horse that she's mated on, I only have one notable horse to talk about for her, is Firewater French Fame, aka Apollo. He's a 7-year-old gelding. Summer has said that the horse is blessed by the blood of Jesus. She's extremely religious, which I love. And at his third rodeo at Belle Fourche, she prayed over him like she does before all her runs. They were 17th in the slack. He ran in there, just made a nice run, and we run the rodeo. And how cool for her kids that they get to see their mom doing something so cool. That's another thing I love about rodeo is like you can really be any age. We have a very diverse cast so far, right? I think we said that Paige is like, what? I think she's early 20s, maybe like freshly out of college. Haley's in her 30s. We've got somebody who's like 60, 30s, 40s. I mean, Sissy Wynn, she just graduated recently as well from college. Like, and then we've got a 37-year-old mom. Like, just such variation here, which is another reason why I love the sport of rodeo so much. I just love it. Okay, let's get on to spot number 8. Sitting number 8 with $117,000 won, we have Jessica Rotier. So again, 117. Oh, Jessica does not want to go in the wall. Girl, I need you to cooperate, okay? Thank you. No. Sorry, Jess. That's kind of violent. She is 40 years old. She has I think 5 children with her husband. One of them is trained to be a trick rider. The youngest 2 are twins. She grew up riding cutting horses along with roping, barrel racing, pole bending, and goat tying. She's kind of does it all. We love that for her. She stays busy with pro rodeo, youth rodeos, and a ranch that runs 800 head of cattle and managing their schedules along with their 5 other children. The 3 younger girls travel with her to most rodeos, but she believes that will stop eventually as their schedules begin to get more wild as the whole family rodeos and does horse things. So that's super exciting. The only horse of note of hers that I found that I think she will be riding at the NFR is Fiery Miss West, aka Misty. She's a 12-year-old mare, and all 6 of her trips to the NFR have been on this mare. Okay, so her and Misty, her and Missy, they're LOVE. They're in love. Okay, 6 trips to the NFR together. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, again, I don't have a lot on Jessica. I couldn't find any social medias, and so that's pretty much all we have. We're lesser known information about her. She is 6 years at the NFR. Nothing to laugh at. Let's move on to number 7. All right, Wenda is 42 years old. She has been a member since 2018. She might be on Team Kimes. Don't quote me. I just see a Kimes logo and I'm like, are you a Kimes girly? She initially bought her WPRA permit in 2004 while she was in college and then saw the time commitment required and decided that she would focus on school and waited until 2018 to get permit filled, which is pretty crazy. Again, she has kids, so she took a break. Like a lot of these other women, they, start out young, take a break, and then go back to it after a while. She has 4 NFR qualifications from 2020 to 2023. She has 2 daughters, and she works as a nurse practitioner in an emergency department, and in 2021, graduated with a doctorate in nursing, and she works part-time as a nurse still. So not only is she a professional athlete that's literally competing at the highest echelon of her sport, she's also a freaking doctor and a nurse. She has a doctorate and she's a nurse and a mom of 2. How cool is that? Don't you want to root for her? Tell me you don't. Fucking Wenda. We love her. Let's talk about her horses. So she has Steel Money, aka Mo, who is a 7-year-old bay gelding. He is owned by High Point Performance Horses, and he was purchased in 2022. She also previously owned MacGyver Moonflash Mac, and this is one of the reasons why you guys should be watching this video and learning this. Mac is the horse that she has qualified for her NFRs on and done so well on. He actually died in August of 2023 from a bad injection or after an infection. This horse is the horse that she initially gained traction on, which means this year she's gonna be riding Mo, who isn't anything to shake a stick at, right? He's great, but that's not the horse that she predominantly has ridden and qualified for and has been her go-to at the Thomas and Mack. So it's pretty interesting to see, like, she's going to be going to the NFR on a different horse than she maybe qualified or earned most of her money on, and a different horse than what she's comfortable with previously at the Thomas and Mack, which is super interesting. That little things like that make the story so much more interesting to follow. Like if she does bad, if she does good, will she overcome this horse change? Like horses in the barrel racing are very important. I mean, that's like 50% of the job, having a fast horse and one that can actually clock these crazy, insane times. It's like almost impossible to find that. So it would be really scary going in on a horse that's not the one that I thought I would be going in on. And then to be coming off the loss of a horse as well, you love so much, kind of insane. So that's Wenda. Let's move on to number 6. We're moving up to the top of the list. Sitting number 6 with $133,000 earned, we have Miss Cassie Mowry, who we've talked about previously in this video already. Again, very well-known girlfriend right here. So cute. Love her. She is who sold the horse Money to Lissa, number 10. Okay. She also owns the horse Emmett, who Lissa wanted to buy. Okay. We're seeing the crossovers. You're seeing it, okay? Cassie is 41 years old. She's from Dublin, Texas, and she has 4 NFR qualifications. She has only attended 28 rodeos this year to qualify for the NFR. That's some special stuff. That's kind of crazy. She is one of the top trainers of barrel horses and has had a lot of success at futurities over the last 20 years. In 2022, she finished the year ranked 12th with $150,000 earned, so she's moved up quite a bit, like literally 6 spots. Pretty wild. Good for her. And that year she only attended 26 rodeos. So she's kind of known for not going to that many rodeos and being able to be super consistent and successful, which is pretty cool. Good for Cassie. She also won the Calgary Stampede in 2022 and set a new arena record of 16.86 seconds. Good for her. Congrats, Cassie. Horses. Let's talk about them. Emmett. This is the horse that famously Lissa wanted to buy that she wouldn't sell to her. Emmett is an 8-year-old bay gelding. He won the Calgary Stampede last year, which is a pretty big deal. It's a huge rodeo to win. He was started by her husband, and she says he's very correct and honest. Love that for Emmett. He won the WPRA's Scott Flitt Bar Raising Star Award in 2022. I have no idea what that is. So I wish I could explain that to you, but I don't know what that is. She also has a horse called Will. CP, he will be epic. He is an 8-year-old gelding. Much of her success has been on this horse, and she has known him since he was a baby. So she has Will and Emmett. 2 boys, just the 2 guys. Just the guys guying. She's going to have the best year. Okay. Now we're in the top 5. You're going to see number 1 has a huge lead on everybody, and the numbers start to get a little iffier here. We had some 20s. Now we're in a 33. You can see now these girls down here, they're probably, they could go from, $100,000 to 130 or 110, or, there could be some mixing up here, but you're going to see as we get into these top 5 spots, these girls have won a lot of money. Okay, so let's get into the number 5. Sitting 5th with $134,000 earned is a so popular and so well-loved Lisa Lockhart. I'm not having any luck with this tape, you guys. It just does not want to stay. I think we're good now. Lisa, you're going to freak out, is 57 years old, okay? How crazy. Again, just so diverse. Such a diverse range of ages and backgrounds and stuff. 55 years old. She joined the WPRA in 1993. That's before I was even born. Shout out Lisa. She has 2 average titles for the NFR in 2014 and 2016. And she has 17 NFR qualifications. Insane. In 2020, she surpassed Sherry Servey in total money won at the NFR. She has won a total of $1,283,000 just at her NFR trips. That's wild. That amount of money, I mean, it's crazy. Her husband, Grady, is a former tie-down roper. The couple have 3 children. Their oldest, Alyssa, competes in the WPRA in breakaway roping. And because Lisa had such a good year, she was actually able to take the last weeks off of the season and not be competing and trying to make money. And she just went to Alyssa's wedding, which congrats, Alyssa, on your marriage. A year ago, Lisa qualified as 14th and in Vegas won enough money to move up 10 spots to 4th. She's coming in 5th this year, so clearly doing really, really well. She's very consistent. She's very good. She's a really well-known barrel racer. She did this last year, moving up the 10 spots on her horse, who is named Promise Me Fame, guys, aka I think it's Levy. Leevee. Levy. Her horse Levy, okay? She has had most of her success in the regular season this year on Levy as well. I can't really explain how important this woman is. She's another person like Haley or, you know, a couple other people you'll see on this list that are really like foundational, important people in the sport of barrel racing. It's hard for me to explain just how much of an impact she has made. I know so many girls who grew up watching Lisa, and some of these girls that are actually like competing may have grown up watching Lisa, which is pretty crazy. She is such a great barrel racer and rider and horse trainer. I really can't speak enough on her. I'm going to give you a quote from her because she's very humble, very kind, and very good to her horses. I really love her as a horsewoman. And so I'm going to read you this quote that I found. This is very glamorized and people don't know how hard it is out here. We do it because it's something we love to do, not because it's profitable. I guess what I'm trying to say is that we're all in this together. Very cute. We do this because we love it, not because it's profitable, which is true. Rodeo is not something that it's hard to make a lot of money, and you're not even going to do it from just rodeoing like other professional sports where you can just play football or play soccer or play whatever, right? In rodeo, you're going to have to do other things to sustain this, which is pretty crazy to think about as a professional athlete, the amount of time and dedication this requires. And then to also have other jobs, like some of these other people, I can't remember who I said was I think it's Stevie Hillman is a X-ray technician, and this girl is a freaking nurse, like, and has a doctorate. Like, it's got to be hard to keep up, to keep money to do this because it's very expensive to travel and do this. And Lisa she's the best. She rocks. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, moving into the fourth spot. $145,000 won this year. We have Tacey Matthews in fourth. Tacey would not stay on the wall, so I had to move her this way and kind of do whatever this is. And I know it kind of ruins our circle, but just deal with it. Tacey is a cool one because she's actually still in college. She's a senior in college this year, and she won the CNFR, which is the College National Finals Rodeo, on her horse Pop Rocks. Okay. She has been a card holder since 2021. Her family raise and train horses, but they also live on a sweet potato farm, which they own. Aww. How cool is that? Sweet potato farm. This is her first year she's ever qualified for the NFR. And what a year to win the CNFR and then go to the NFR as fourth. That's got to be hard. Something interesting about Tacey is for the past 3 years, there has been a Matthews in the top 2 at the College National Finals Rodeo. So first it was her sister Jay Lee, who finished as a reserve champion while attending East Mississippi Community College. And then obviously she won last year. It's pretty crazy the little, I guess, legacy her and her sister have. And crazy that she's literally a college student going to the NFR. What a time. The horse that I was talking about, Pop Rocks, he is called Fame Fire Rocks. Pop Rocks is owned by her mom, and Kim. And Taylor, her sister, has also rode Pop Rocks, I believe, at the College NFR as well. This is another thing, kind of like that horse. I think it's Wenda's horse that got hurt, and she's competing on her younger horse, or that passed away, and she's competing on her other horse. In this situation, Pop Rocks actually got injured, and it is a season-ending injury. He will be back in 2024, they're saying, but he is not going to be competing at this year's NFR, and that's the horse she qualified for the NFR on. So that's pretty crazy. I actually don't know any of the other horses she owns. She does have a little bit of a TikTok presence. She only has 2,000 followers on TikTok, so everybody go blow her up. She has an Instagram. I couldn't really find much. She's very religious. I really like her. I think she's going to have a great rookie year at the NFR, and I'm excited to see what she does. The only other horse I could see her mentioning was Bud. I don't know anything about Bud, except that she owns him. That's what my notes say. I know nothing about Bud except that Tacey owns him. So maybe she will ride hit Bud. Maybe she won't, but she for sure won't be on Pop Rocks, which is so sad. But also interesting, like, this is the fun part. Will she be able to make it back, come back after this, after losing the horse that she literally qualified for this whole thing on? Barrel racing is so horse dependent. Like, it is, what will she do? See, we're all going to be interested. We're all going to know now because me standing here pointing at this wall, doing this. Okay? Now we're in the top 3 spots. Sitting number 3 with $158,000 won, our favorite dental hygienist, Emily Miller Beisel sits in third. Okay, this redhead is the shit, and I love her. Look at that. She also wants to stay on the wall. Thank you, Emily. Appreciate it. She is 31 years old, and she's been a card holder since 2012. She has 3 NFR qualifications, and like I said, she is a dental hygienist. She doesn't come from a horsey family. Her family is not horsey at all, and they basically told her look, if you want to do this whole thing, you're going to have to make money, because the horse thing, unless you get to the very top, you're not going to make any money. So you need to figure it out. And so she did. She went to school. She became a dental hygienist. And look at her now. Third in the world, kicking ass, okay? She finished as the highest money-winning barrel racer over Cowboy Christmas, aka 4th of July weekend. That's when everybody wins. You can get a ton of money during Cowboy Christmas. It's like your final push for NFR. She's the highest winner again this year for the second time. She won $25,000 during that week. Pretty big deal. Go Emily. I feel like Emily is a really consistent rider and always puts her horses first. There's a story I heard of her on a podcast where there was the final push for NFR, and she was on the bubble, which means you could win money. You could, you could make it into the top 15, and everybody, all these barrel racers are sitting around. They're trying to decide if they're going to keep pushing, go to more rodeos, or if they're going to go home. And Emily could have kept going, and she said, you know what? I think my horses need a break. I'm going to go home. And I think it was Haley Kinsell was saying how this made her really love Emily and kind of just respect her more, because for somebody to put their horses above themselves and their own glory going to the NFR, it's a big deal. And I think Emily does that over and over and over again. I really like her. I think she's really down to earth, really humble. She got married, I think 2 years ago or a year ago. She has a stepson through her husband that she just recently married. Here are Emily's horses. She has, this is a little interesting. The breeder names the horses all Namgis D and then a number. So the first horse that she's most known for is Namgis D 35, aka Pipe Wrench. He's 12. I don't think she rode him very much last year at NFR. I think that she doesn't ride him as much. But in 2015, after her good horse got hurt, she called Kylie Ward West, who qualified for the Wrangler NFR in 2018, and said, "Do you have another mount that I can ride?" And she gave her Pipe Wrench, and he's named because he has a blaze that's shaped like a pipe wrench. Her other horse, Namgis D33 Chongo, is an 11-year-old gray gelding, and he is super well known. I think that's the horse that she's most well known for now is Chongo. He's really great. I think he runs really consistent. He's super cute. I love him. I love Chongo. Why do I like him so much? I can't even tell you. He's just the cutest. The two of them do really great together, and I think she'll probably ride him mainly this year again. She also has Namgis D56 Foxy, who's a 9-year-old mare, and then Bidden on Fame, aka Bo, who's 8. And I think she's been riding Bo a lot too. My numbers are falling off the wall, guys. I think she's been riding Bo a lot too. So we might see him at NFR this year as well. And he's pretty cool as well. I don't know as much about him. I just know about Chongo, who is adorable and cute and deserves to be a pet a million times. Okay? He's the cutest. That's really all you need to know. Number 2. We're almost done, guys. How long have we been recording? I don't even know. I feel like I've been speed running this. We only have 2 left. Sitting number 2 with $160,000 earned, we have Miss Jordan Briggs. Okay? Jordan, oh my gosh. Can I get this up here? Jordan, you have to go on the wall. I literally have tape on here. For whatever reason, sometimes I have to stick them in a different spot just because that's where they want to be. So that's what we did for Jordan. Jordan's in here, in the inside of the circle now. There she is, number 2, $160,000 earned. She is from Toller, Texas. She's 35 years old and has been a PRCA member since 2018, okay? So something special about Miss Jordan Briggs is her mom was the owner of Bozo, who we have talked about previously through this, is a very famous horse and is related to Sister and is known for a lot of other things. But she actually rode Bozo when she was younger. I think when she was 13. Yeah, she rode Bozo. She actually joined her mom when she won her first WPRA World Barrel Racing title. She joined her in the record books, and they are the first mother-daughter duo to win the WPRA World title together, which is a pretty big deal. She won her first Wrangler NFR average title in record fashion, setting a 10-run record inside the Thomas & Mack with a total time of 136 seconds and broke Nellie Millie's record from 2017 of 137 seconds. She has 1 million in career earnings. Again, this is most of these women. I feel like if they're not someone who's a fresh face, like maybe Tacey, or I think this is Jamie, right? Paige. The girl's name is Paige. Me calling her Jamie. I feel like Jordan, like a lot of women on this board, are very, they're kind of like, I guess, monuments in the sport. But there's some newcomers. Obviously, there's lots of newcomers like Paige, and we've got Tacey, and who else? Summer. Summer is not a young gun, but she is a first-time NFR person. But yeah, you've got a lot of women on the board, especially in barrel racing, that have been doing this for years and years. Steamy Hillman, Cassie Mowry, Lisa Lockhart. And now, of course, you have Jordan Briggs, who's 35 and has been doing this for quite a while. She's no stranger to the winner's circle. It's not a surprise she's number 2. I just think it's cool how in this sport, someone like Tacey, who's brand new, could be ahead of Lisa in money. Really, it is anyone's game. Even if you are a fairly new barrel racer, you could beat somebody who you grew up watching, which is pretty wild because the sport is so, so diverse in age group, which I think is very neat. Let's talk about horses. Okay. She has a horse called Famous Little Jet Rollo, who was named the 2021 Neutrino Horse of the Year presented by the AQHA. I think she's still riding Rollo. Rollo is the only horse I could find information on. Rollo is a 9-year-old sorrel gelding. He won the NFR average in 2021. Here's something that she said about Rollo. My whole life, my favorite thing has been training futurity horses. I trained them, sold them, and started over. But I knew I'd never be able to train another one like him, so I just couldn't make myself sell him. He means the world to my whole family. We all wake up and feed Rollo every day. He's very special to all of us. Why am I crying? I'm tearing up. It all comes down to Rollo. She says he is the only reason that I want to sit in the truck for hours on end and travel across the country with a toddler. He's such an incredible horse. He's always been confident, and last year it was just amazing to see what he could do. Rollo is the horse that brought her to the NFR. He's who she'll be riding, I'm sure. Like I said, don't know any other horses of note that she's been riding recently. I don't think that she is necessarily somebody who desperately loves going to the NFR, but she goes when a horse provides her the opportunity, and Rollo is one that's done that. I know she trains lots of futurity colts, and she's been historically a great trainer, and there's a lot of women in barrel racing who don't want to sit in the truck for, like she said, 19 hours and travel around. They want to have a normal life, and rodeo, it's very hard to exist in that, have a normal life, exist in a normal way, and still be able to make it to all this stuff. So a lot of these women, or a lot of women in the sport, choose to train futurity horses, which is a little bit easier of a travel schedule, or just be horse trainers. And sometimes they end up going to the NFR, kind of like her, which is really cool. Now we have made it all the way around the circle back to our number 1 girl. The what is that called? I don't know what you would call it. This girl. So we just said number 2 has, let's talk, $160,000 earned. Okay. Like I said, it's a very incremented, it's very stepping slowly up. And then you'll see here, this is a huge gap. This is a giant leap. Okay. Let's talk about our number 1 barrel racer. Sitting in our number 1 spot with an insane $270,000 won this year. Miss Brittany Posey Tanazi. Brittany, my girl, you really slayed this year. What a slay. Number 1, $270,000 won. That is almost it is. It's over $100,000 lead on number 2. So I'm going to say I don't think that anyone can even make $100,000 at the NFR. Maybe they can. I don't know. But I don't think anyone's passing this girl up. It would be hard for her. For sure, no one below, these girls are not going to be making number 1. That is an insane lead. Good for Brittany. Okay, Brittany is another person who has a very historic, long career in the sport of barrel racing, and especially at the NFR. Okay, she's 39 years old and has been a card holder since 2003. She has 2 NFR average titles from 2006 and 2007, and she has 15 NFR qualifications, okay? But with the win at Days of 47 Rodeo on July 24th, Brittany achieved a new career milestone, $3 million in just rodeo winnings in her career. That is insane. Insanity, okay? She owns the stud, A Guy with Proof, who she competes on still, and he's a proven stud with some impressive offspring. I don't know too much about him, but they have a website for him if you want to go read about him. She has a stud horse that she studs out. Let's talk about her horses. We have a lot of horses here. The cool thing about Brittany is that she is always riding lots of different horses. She's kind of like Lisa Lockhart. You could put them on anything and they're going to win, really. And they ride a lot of different horses. And like I said, I was able to find more about all the horses Brittany has, and she has a lot, than like some of these girls' one horse that they ride, because she also has a website where she details everything she does and posts updates. It's great if you want to learn more about her. There is so much you can find about her on the internet, okay? First horse, Jets Top Gun, aka Benny. His first PRCA win was in June of 2023 at Cortez. That's literally was not that long ago. After 19 years of going to Calgary, Brittany won it on him and walked away with $50,000. So Benny is kind of exciting. I think his name is a play on Benny and the Jets, because Jets Top Gun, his name's Benny. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. After multiple reserve titles at the Reno Rodeo, through her career, she also won first at the Reno Rodeo aboard him. It says the two lit Reno on fire with their 16-7 second run, and they broke the arena record. Benny is kind of fucking flying, okay? He's kind of the shit, all right? He's young and he is destroying. But she also has a horse called Titan. He's 10 years old. His full name is SR Industry Titan. From their first rodeo together in late July to Puyallup in mid-September, the duo has won several big rodeos, giving Benny a much-deserved break. So on Titan, she won Logan, Castle Rock, Kennewick, Ellensburg, Puyallup, and more. So she's like destroying. She has two great horses. She has more than just two great horses. She also has Babe on the Chase, aka Birdie, a 10-year-old mare who is now owned by Teton Ridge. I didn't know that Teton Ridge was owning people's horses, but you heard it here first, guys. They own Brittany's horse. Second at Austin, third in Montgomery on Birdie. So that's another horse she's still consistently winning on. This is 3 horses now. Now we're on horse number 4. Trey's Chase and Babe, PZ, aka Rosie, and that is Birdie's daughter. So the previous horse's offspring. She placed third in the fraternity average at Royal Crown, and that horse is also owned by Teton Ridge. She could also hop on that horse as well. Another great horse that she owns. And then lastly, I'm a Famous Babe, Katniss, an 8-year-old mare. But I think that she rode Katniss at NFR last year. I could be wrong about that. She is also a well-known horse. Like I said, Brittany has no shortage of horses that she could hop on and ride and compete and win and do great on. Oh my gosh, Jordan will not stay on the wall. These barrel racers, man, gonna give me gray hairs. Jordan's coming off the wall because she won't stick on there. I'm sorry, guys. But this is it. This is our 15 barrel racers heading to the NFR this year. This has been a video, okay? I hope that the audio sounds good and I wasn't clicking my rings too much and it's not too intense. We won't know until we edit, so hopefully it is good. If it's bad, bear with me. It is what it is. But this is a labor of love, okay? This took a lot of preparation. We're talking hours of script writing, cutting out photos. This is a production. If you want to see me do this again for another sport like team roping, I could do the teams, which is really fun, or I could do breakaway or something else. Let me know in the comments. I'm really excited to see how everybody does this year. This was really fun to do because I learned everything about everyone, and I literally have a document with all the information on it. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk about the 15 barrel racers that will be competing at the NFR. We're losing sunlight and I'm starving, so I'm going to let you go. Please like, subscribe, comment below if you want me to do this for other disciplines going to the NFR. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, and I'll see you guys in December in Las Vegas. Just kidding. I will literally see you in the next video. I love you guys so much. Have the best day ever. Seriously, subscribe, guys. I could use it. Somewhere